lost an hour, but we have gained some amazing esports coming your way on this very stage, coming to you live from the NEC in Birmingham at Insomnia 72. Fantastic crowd as always, great to have you here. I am Greyheart and it is my absolute pleasure to tell you that we are bringing you two fantastic esports on this stage today. We are going to have two sets of matches for our Overwatch tournament and then followed by another two matches coming from Valorant. There's going to be all sorts of fantastic shooter action. We're starting things off with the lower bracket final for our Overwatch tournament, and at the moment we've got EO who have made their way through to the grand finals by staying through on the winner's side of things. Both of these teams have lost to EO earlier on and want to earn the right to go and face them in our grand finals just a little bit later today. Let's meet those teams. Coming in first, it's Supershy Red! They are Condi, Wex, Skytorr, Ilpi, and CaptainPrash! But the team making sure it won't be an easy path to the final for them are their sister team. It's Supershy Blue! They are yoham, Strebor, NKZ, Zorrow, and Will! And as much as I love esports, I enjoy Overwatch matches, you don't want to listen to me talking about Overwatch. Let me bring you the voices who actually know what they are chatting about. The fantastic Toasty and Spectrion! Thanks for joining me on our fantastic esports stage here in Insomnia 72. How are you enjoying the show so far, guys?
I've only just got here, but I gotta say, this is pretty damn impressive, if I do say so myself.
It certainly is. Is this first time at Insomnia?
Yeah, it's my first time, and I got here yesterday. Had a look around. It's amazing, man. Great stuff.
It's great to see the show in general, but now let's talk esports. Let's talk Overwatch. We've got an amazing matchup between these sister teams. Any expectations coming in? Because obviously they're both coming from the same organization, Spectron.
I mean, they're going to be playing some different styles. I spoke to them beforehand, and they both told me very different looks about what they want to play. We should be seeing a lot of variety here, but I think the really important thing to keep in mind is that it's going to be a damn close game, and that's what's bloody important.
It's going to be a close game. Any particular star players we need to keep our eyes out for, Toasty?
Well, I mean, my friend Spectron here knows CaptainPrash is the loudest player that's going to be on this stage, so we got to keep an eye out for CaptainPrash. Definitely going to be making some plays on that support, but keeping the team morale high as well. Supershy Red, they've got a really good player in Prash.
Supershy Red have come slightly further through the bracket than Blue, so maybe they're slight favourites coming in. Do you feel like that's going to be a fair reflection of what we see out on the maps?
To a certain extent, I do think it's taken Blue a little bit more time to warm up into the tournament, and of course against the tournament favourites esports organization, then Red were able to take an extra map, but of course Blue has a lot more practice. They have top 8 in Overwatch Champions Series. That gives them a lot of firepower, and if they can just get everything sorted out here on this final day, then it could be a dominant series.
Guys, before I let you go up to the Crow's Nest to give us a wonderful cast, let me get a prediction for you across this best of 5.
All right, I'm going to be here predicting 3-2 in this first game for Supershy Blue to win it. I think just that experience they've got should make for a good match here. Ends up being close, but I think Supershy Blue take it.
Toasty thinks it's going all the way. How about you, Spectrion?
3-1, Supershy Red. Lock it in now.
Ooh, got a little bit of cast diversity on that one. Let's see if that's how things play out. Before we get into the action, however, let's catch up with some of the players before the game.
Hi, welcome back to Insomnia 72. My name is Spectrum, and I'm joined today by two members of two teams. Supershy Red and Blue have sent their representatives. We have Wex and NKZ. How are you guys doing?
I'm good. How about you?
I'm chilling.
Doing pretty good. Just not that much sleep, but we'll be fine.
We'll see if that affects the game. Of course, you guys are going to be matching up. You guys are almost from the same roster, so can we give a little bit of insight about how these rosters kind of came to be?
So originally, they had two or three subs, and we just made a roster out of that. I used to play for them, so me and another guy just joined their 3 subs, and that's how our team got made.
Now, of course, Supershy Blue are considered the original roster. Do you think this will give you any sort of advantage in the matchup?
Well, we have been a team scrimming with each other for a way longer time, and they are just kind of a mix in a way. So I think we'll have a major advantage in every level.
Speaking of advantages, Supershy Red have come from the upper bracket just off the back of a 3-2 loss from esports organization. Not only is that one more map than Blue were able to take, but it also gives them first map veto advantage. Do you think that'll be the difference maker?
Having first map pick is definitely pretty good because we can just play on our own terms. And yeah, like you said, so we were 2-0 down in that series against EO. And we managed to almost reverse sweep them. We just lost like on a two fight difference on last map. So I definitely think we're going into this very confident based off of that.
And then finally then, I'm going to start with you, NKZ. Any fighting words?
Got shit on.
And UX, anything to say to that?
I'll just walk around with beam and you guys die. It's GG's.
That's been all from us. Looking forward to the game.
Thank you very much for that interview, Spectrian. The players have some heat, it appears, at the end there. Definitely going to be one for the ages, I think. The sheer cold core against the what we're calling the sheer cold subs, but it's going to be a close one, I think.
Yeah, I got to spoke to some more of the players behind the scenes, and yeah, they were all equalizing, echoing that same sentiment. It's going to be a damn close game, and yeah, I mean, we just heard from the interview. Blue, they have the practice, they've got the reps, they have the experience together, but Red, off the back of the hot streak. And I gotta say, Toasty mentioned him, when we were on stage there, Prash is going to bring the hype. The backline, Yoham and Strebor are Blue. They're a little bit quieter. We'll see if that kind of energy differential makes a difference on the big stage. Not often have these teams had an opportunity to play on a stage like this before. This is going to be their first proper time in front of a real audience, and maybe that experience gap, maybe the energy will be the difference maker.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the nerves are going to be building up for some of these teams as well, specifically the ones that haven't been on a stage before. But again, that's where I think Supershy Red will have an advantage. Prash, he was on a stage, less than a month ago, playing in a tournament there, and I think he's got the energy. He's the one we need to be looking out for. But as well, give some credit to everyone else, I think, on these teams as well. They're all part of the same sort of organization, and they all deserve to be there. I think that's why it's going to be such a close match, as well as just the passion that these teams will have to try and beat each other.
Yeah, I think it's worth remembering that while 8 of the current players currently are on the Shield Cold roster under the organization, then all 10 of them have played together on rosters for Prash and Wex on Red. Yeah, they aren't technically part of the organization right now, but these players still have the synergy, they still have the reps in together, and when push comes to shove, they can compete where it counts. They can bring the firepower when it is necessary. And so I think it is definitely fair to look at these two rosters as, two sides of the same coin. But when we flip it, no one really knows if it'll come up head or tails, red or blue.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think these head-to-head matchups in each role are going to be very important as well. We've just seen the rosters there. NKZ versus Skytorr, that's going to be a fun matchup on the tank line. Tank is quite I would say, a cosmetic role recently, in recent patches. But definitely having a slightly better tank will make the difference.
Yeah, I think it's worth mentioning that, of course, the starting roster of Sheer Cold, NKZ has many people would be considering to be playing better recently. NKZ also has a bit of a strange read on the meta, very insistent that Zarya is incredibly strong, especially into the Mauga. Many people disagree, but I mean, he made top 8 playing the hero, beating teams like Oye, playing the Zarya into Mauga, so he's clearly found some success there. That's going to be a really big stylistic difference between these two teams. If we see a Zarya come out, it is going to be on the side of Supershy Blue. They want to play these more static tanks, I believe, in Red. Going to play a little bit more aggressive. Some Winstons, some Doomfist. Of course, they are sticking to the tried and true Orisa. And to tell the truth, Toasty, I do think Orisa is going to be the staple pick of this series. But we are going to be seeing some variety when we kind of head onto the server. All going to depend on player comfort, matchups, and of course the all-important factor when it comes to these hero compositions, which is the maps that they battle upon.
Yeah, absolutely. And our first map here is going to be Samoa. So it's quite a varied map, I would say. You can get a lot of those different compositions you were just mentioning. I think we will end up seeing quite a rock, paper, scissors matchup here as well. We talked a bit to the players backstage about what they're planning to play. The Orisa Mauga seems strong, but there's teams willing to play that Winston and that Doom. And I think that Zari is a good counter to the Orisa as well.
Yeah, Samoa's an interesting one here. It's definitely one of the newest maps in the game, and some people argue that the map maybe isn't as solved as some of the other options. I do think that, being in control, it does lack a little bit of that depth that some of the longer, more varied maps will have, but that just means these two teams are going to be more proficient here. Watch out for the DPS players, especially the Tracer players, because this matchup is going to decide how much space you have on these off angles, how much pressure you can apply to backlines. And yeah, there is a certain, conversation to be had about how those backlines respond to that pressure, but at the end of the day, if one Tracer's farming, the other one's just constantly on the defensive, that's going to give a massive advantage to the team in the lead. So again, instant spotlight on the Tracer players. They have to be the ones who are under the most scrutiny.
Yeah, absolutely. In those neutral engagements, when you haven't got any ultimates off the start here, you want to start building those ultimates up. You want to start building a snowball up. And I think it'll come from these, these Tracer Echo players alongside their respective Sojins.
So
of course, those Sojins in question, Zorrow, Wex, two players that aren't typically on these rosters, but hopefully could be shining here.
I expect Condi to just teleport out to spawn, swap over to the Tracer here. That's going to mean that the core of Skytorr and Co are going to be a hell of a lot more forward. They're going to have more positioning. Condi's going to be a little bit late, so Will have a smidgen of free reign here.
Yeah, absolutely. And Will from this off angle, shooting in those mines is going to be a lot of damage to deal with. I mean, Skytor's already under a lot of scrutiny. Half HP, has to back up and give up a little bit of space. They're going to re-engage through main here. Smart decision as well, as the point hasn't unlocked. They can still play around a bit. You've got Condi here, actually, trying to outduel Will a bit, and has to use that recall. Gonna get away. But this is two players out of the fight completely. I mean, you've got a frontline engagement here that's lacking a lot of damage because of the lack of this Tracer and Echo. Strebor, though, comes into the back line. First blood drawn. Condi goes down, and now it's Red on the back foot.
This is incredibly tricky for Supershy Red. They are down numbers, they are down damage. They might just have to disengage the point, and yeah, first cap hasn't gone over yet, so this isn't the end of the world for them. They're waiting for the Tracer to come back. They're going to re-engage as a full 5 as soon as Condi's back in the action.
Yeah, Condi returns very soon here, already poking and prodding away on the side, drawing more resources. Will, half HP, has to back up, but again, Strebor's there to force away this Tracer. Very good backline presence, and right now, Sound Barrier comes through to go aggressive. Skytorr in the front line, takes down Strebor. NKZ low as well. Skytorr just cutting up the team there. I mean, they were cut in half.
I love that plan from Supershy Red. So well executed. Condi goes down, but because you're playing that's, Echo, who doesn't have the same amount of punching power, so to speak, as the Tracer, you're not able to hit that go button. No pick comes through. Red go passive. They wait for their respawns. They charge up to their beat of CaptainPrash, which I guarantee, by the way, Strebor was not expecting, and they re-engage with that power. They are behind on ults now, so they are going to be in a bit of a disadvantage for this fight, but Red has positioning, they have the point presence, and now with a little bit of momentum on their side, they might have some more punch.
Yeah, absolutely. Going to be the Kitsune Rush and the Overclock invested early here from Supershy Blue. It forces Red off of the point, as that's going to be a Terror Surge invested. Skytorr deals a bit of damage, but the Sound Barrier is there. Strebor keeps the team alive. Skytorr bursted down, and they'll keep hold of the points.
Spenny battle. 4 ults expended from the side of Supershy Blue, but they are the ones who get the flip mid-fight. In fact, so already equaling percentage, and I mean, their opponents did much the same, so basically no ultimates on the field, just a Terror Surge of NKZ. Great ultimates, leveraging the Kitsune Rush to buy space on the point from Supershy Blue. Red have to respect it, and because they don't need it maybe as much as they shouldn't have, because they don't have that Sound Barrier, then their tank gets taken down. Speaking of it, Zorrow decapitates Wex.
Yeah, absolutely. That's just going to be a disengage. I mean, Zorrow, what a clean shot there from such a long range as well. I mean, Supershy Red just need to not, leak any extra picks here. Prash is going to do a bit of poking, but that's about it.
Coming up to the Kitsune Rush from LP, I would expect Supershy Red are looking to engage off the back of it. It will give them, for a while, some sort of measure of advantage, but so far they have been struggling to reach the point safely!
Not again! Wex goes down early. You lose your Sojin in the last fight on this point on Samoa. It's going to be like a Kitsune Rush from LP, but unfortunately, Prash doesn't get that Sound Barrier off to save them. Going to save it a little bit here for the next engagement. Luckily, took a quick fight, so there will be a re-engage.
Zorrow is taking names, man. I think that was 4 frags off the back of the Sojin. I said the onus was on the Tracer players to perform. Zorrow hears me and does one better on the hit scan roll, absolutely tearing his opponents to shreds. Overclock pop, tempo increase, but there's a back cap from Condi.
Yeah, I mean, you go all the way up to the spawn room, but Condi gets the back cap here. It's going to be Zorrow popping the overclock, finds Prash just in the middle of that sound barrier, so unable to use that in this engagement. It's a 1-for-1 trade here between Condi and yoham as that Terror Surge comes through to try and C9. Does not work. NKZ forced off the point, split off from the rest of the squad, but Strebor is there with that sound barrier, once again excelling on this Lucio and getting that final blow onto Skytorr. NKZ staying alive by a thread here. I mean, look at that health pool.
It's so low, but the battle's still raging on the point. Wex again goes down to his opposite number. Right now, Zorrow really having the measure of that matchup and stepping off the point for a millisecond means the overtime wick burns down. First blood taken by Supershy.
Yep, and it's all off the back of Strebor, Zorrow. I mean, they're doing a really good job here, I think. Strebor protecting the backline, and you've got Zorrow here. I mean, these railgun kills, the overclock was so well timed as well up in that spawn room. Crazy stuff.
I'm super impressed by what Zorrow's brought to the table here. I do think that some of the problems that we are seeing come from Zorrow finding more value than his counterpart. Wex has really struggled to find impact in the game, and on the flip side of things, Zorrow is finding multi-frags in multiple fights, and with that kind of value from your Sojourn, in terms of the raw damage you're dishing out as well, it makes it so damn tricky for your opponents to play. I think it's really interesting that Will starts in the Echo, and yeah, he does have a filthy, skill on that hero, but I mean, it means that in theory, Condi should be relatively free. You should have a great matchup into the Tracer v Echo, but instead, Condi's constantly marked, struggling to find value as well, so Supershy Red again regressing.
Yeah, I mean, Will was left behind there, but still, I mean, Supershy Red take a lot of space there. They're getting forced back now as Supershy Blue start to realize those cooldowns are gone. NKZ specifically unable to hold that frontline space anymore. Gonna go over to the point, take it slow. Ilpi goes down. Zorrow, what are you doing to them? It's gonna be NKZ now inting in, finding Wex as well. It just feels like Wex doesn't have any space to do anything.
At some point, we're going to need to see an answer to the Zorrow problem, because right now this man is running unchecked and carving a bloody swathe throughout his opposition. This Sojourn is just too damn strong. We need to see a step up. Be it from Condi, be it from Wex, even an adaptation in play to give him less shots, because right now this is unsustainable. Right now, this is Zorrow in charge.
Yeah, absolutely. And I want to look at this Kitsune rush from yoham, almost up here from the side of Supershy Blue. They're going to potentially use that in this engagement.
They give
up Zorrow there, so Wex finally gets that refrag onto them. Gonna re-engage now, but the Kitsune rush is invested by yoham. Gonna go aggro, Will almost gets taken down, but again, skirting around the sidelines draws enough attention to where there's a lot of frontline space now to be used. Skytorr getting bullied a little bit. Condi in the backline here has a pulse bomb if they want to use it. Just finds a regular frag onto Strebor anyway. NKZ and yoham follow to Ilpi, and there we go. They managed to retake the point. We
put the scrutiny on Wex to come out clutch, and to his credit, he delivers big time. A lovely double to crack open that fight. But it's Condi and Ilpi who clean it up. Control of the point now, 46% accrued for Supershy Blue. That is not bad progress at all. Defensive ults though, the full 5, the full gamut to run. This should be at least 2 conversions for Supershy Red.
Yeah, absolutely. I can't see them not managing to convert these team fights. I mean, Wex uses the railgun early here. They just kite it. It gets nothing there. It's an ult wasted just to buy a couple more percentage. Condi is now in the back, drawing a bit of attention. The rotate comes through on the left side here by the tank. And really, it's biding time here. This Kitsune rush is going to get used now by Ilpi to try and engage. The Skytorr almost has that Terror Surge online. The duplication onto Orisa from Will, though, gives a lot more tank line presence as Ilpi scrambles away, not able to give any support to Skytorr on the front line now as they just use that Terror Surge. Will almost goes down, finally taken out of that duplicate, and NKZ almost falls as well, but Zorrow again finds a railgun onto Condi out of just nowhere, getting picks out of nothing. Wex manages to find a refrag onto yoham, but it's all over there as the damage was done. Strebor and NKZ cleaning up.
I'm not sure I'm in love with the decision from CaptainPrash to beat IC now. It came too late. Unfortunately, Strebor used his own sound barrier and the disengage was great from Supershy Red. Unfortunately, his decision not to reinvest, it means that the headshot comes through onto Condi down that trace. You have numbers disadvantage and you need to either rip it or reset. They elect to reset. 60% now for the defenders. Tied even Stevens here on Volcano. And again, no ults on the field. The closest is yoham, about 90% to that Kitsune rush.
Yeah, and Strebor's trying to protect yoham at the minute, trying to keep him alive, keep Condi and Wex away from the angles they can be contested on. Now yoham uses Kitsune rush as soon as they build it. They're choosing to go aggressive here. They know it's potentially last fight, but a clean re-engage comes through there from Supershy Red. Gonna give up a bit of space.
Yeah, that they will, but they will have to re-engage eventually. Last fight territory, as the point percentage takes up, we need to see a miracle from Red.
Yeah, absolutely, and that miracle could be this Kitsune rush. Ilpi uses it straight off a cooldown. NKZ pummeled into the back. Going to be a lot of damage coming through here. Skytorr gained so much space there. I mean, the point flip came through as well, so their accruing percentage. Zorrow almost goes down. These health balls are draining. Supershy Blue, they're going to stabilize a little bit, knowing they have ults coming up. Condi, recall force, that's the go button. NKZ gets in there. Strebor is so close to the sound barrier as well, but they almost go down. Gonna have to engage with that as soon as they can. There we go, sound barrier in. Gonna be aggression now, full on. The duplicate comes through onto the Orisa as well from Will, so just bullying Skytorr. But the beat, Prash gets the beat online just in time, keeps him alive. Will and NKZ low on HP. It's all over the place here, Spectrian.
It is. It looks like the kills are going the way of Supershy Red, though. The focusing beam from Will, good enough for one. Again, these frags, stereo, rainbow in the kill feed, but it looks like it's Supershy Red who have control of the point. Strebor gets taken down. Overtime Wick's going to burn down. 94% been accrued for Blue, but it doesn't matter in the end. Here on Samoa, Toasty, we go 1-1.
Yeah, what a comeback coming through there from Supershy Red. You know, that last team fight, drawing it out, the clean disengages, the rotates, the aggression coming through there onto NKZ, and I think that was what it was. You bully the enemy, Orisa, gain all that space. It was a really good comeback there, I think, and it was all, again, due to just the aggression and choosing when to pick your fights, right? Kitsune Rush comes through there from yoham, and then they just disengage, and it's an ult wasted.
Yeah, no, these disengages actually from both sides, I'm really enjoying. I mean, it's perfect ult economy, right? Yeah, you give up some percentage on the objective, but you get one out for free. It's fantastic value, and that's exactly what we're seeing. Down to the decider here, both teams 1-1. We've seen it close, but if Wex can continue this pressure, this form, then there'll be a mark. Zorrow now on the Ashe, some extra range. The same could be said of yoham and NKZ on that Baptiste and Sigma, respectively.
We were talking to Prash backstage. They mentioned Sigma was something like these teams were playing occasionally. On this map, it's going to be good for the poke, but NKZ shield already goes down, and they're just going to get pummeled around. You're too static here as a Sigma. I mean, they're just getting chunked away. yoham has that immortality field forced as well. They can't really easily make their way onto the point now unless they get a couple of frags. Prash and Wax almost go down there, but they're not really getting any eliminations.
Yeah, flip comes through for Supershy Red. This is not ideal tool for Blue, who want to play a slow fight. They want to find their picks. They don't really have the onus to be able to go aggressive. Skytorr, though, caught out of step.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You fly too close to the sun, and you just get hit with the power of gravity there by NKZ. Takes him down. Zorrow on the Ashe as well, showing up. It's not just the Sojin here.
You see, though, they take the slow fight and they do convert it. 20% accrued for Supershy Red. That isn't too bad at all, but they wanted to take the fight. They're going to need to go aggressive. They need to bring the fight to their opponents, because in these long-range engagements, Zorrow is just going to absolutely chunk the damage in.
And we see it there. Skytorr peaks, immediately goes to half HP, uses the spinning javelin, uses the fortify, and what do you do now? You wait, right? It's biding time here for Supershy Blue, and NKZ, Zorrow, Will, all coming up to really crucial ultimates that can turn a fight just in the click of a Q. It's going to be the Kitsune Rush from Ilpi first, though, as that Amp Matrix. Oh, that's a lot of damage. Ilpi, one-tap headshotted. The Dynamite Aftermath as well finds Prash, taking down the backline in one fell swoop, and Zorrow is the star of the show today. Whoa!
Zorrow is taking names once again. We saw him go cold on Volcano, but heating up here on the final of Samoa. I'm loving this Ashe we're seeing. And again, this is a tragic fight for Supershy Red. They invest heavily, in fact, using that Kitsune Rush, and they get shut down. They get nothing for their troubles. They need to walk towards them. They need to get close, but Skytorr's just taking so much damage trying to get in close. And we need to see an adaptation from this rotate if we want to see some value here.
And that's why the sound barrier is so important, right? Prash needs to time this super well to keep Skytorr alive for just long enough to get a couple of kills in these team fights. But Prash is dealing with the backline right now. Going to be the beat in response to the flux there as the Bob comes through as well to zone the car. Wex going to be using this overclock. Finds Strebor. Very crucial kill there. Removes a lot of the tempo Blue have, but it doesn't matter. NKZ and Will find kills apiece, and it's 84%. There's going to be a disengage, but can they even touch after this?
Can you even disengage? Ilpi goes to the point to die. a touch should be a possibility with Condi, with Wex moving over to these faster heroes. Skytorr 2 on the Winston. Prash should have an easy time of things, but this is going to be desperate. 3% left to go. Overtime Wick is going to be started at least. No ults on the field. This is going to be all dry.
And they invested all Tracer cooldowns into that, meaning Skytorr gets pummeled in that engage, can't do anything. Wex, again, peeled by Strebor, who's just been doing such a good job with his backline presence. You got a stick there. Okay, Zorrow goes down, but I don't think it's enough. yoham covering the point with that amp matrix. And there we have it, Supershy Blue taking the first map.
I'm impressed by what we're seeing as Supershy Blue, but more than that, I'm impressed by what we see from Zorrow. Not the starting DPS for sheer cold. That mantle will go to Zodio, but coming in, filling his shoes, and dare I say, exceeding them right now. The dominant player of that roster, the dominant player in that lobby, taking names, gapping his opposition, I dare say, and because of that, going 1-0 on Samoa. I mean, I have to say, Toasty, who can you shout out but Zorrow for that victory?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there is the thing of, you know, the whole team is responsible for that win there, but Zorrow was spearheading it 100% there, Spectrian. I mean, the overclocks are amazing. Even the neutral rails in team fights, they should not have been winning. Zorrow was doing it all, and then you just have this you know, like formidable tank presence as well, giving space for Zorrow to actually get those kills. NKZ was doing such a good job of zoning off Skytorr and biding enough time.
NKZ did a fantastic job, and you can tell just by the deaths column, no single silly death for NKZ, always dying, you know, mid-engagement. But the thing is, you look at the kill feed in most of these clips, and there's just a Zorrow rail out of bloody nowhere. From downtown, he'll just, like, double kill. I mean, especially on that first one, that's where I was most impressed at what he had to bring to bear, what he had to bring to the server. But, I mean, we see that every damn time. And look at him go! Just look at the man shoot. It's ridiculous. It is silly. And, I mean, Wex did his best. Wex did his absolute damnedest, but unfortunately just couldn't match his metal today.
Yeah, I mean, that first map was a doozy, and to be fair, Supershy Red made it close, considering we're giving all this credit to Supershy Blue. Red made it very, very close there. I think where they were really excelling was, and I think we talked about this before the match, backline presence, right? There were a lot of times that Will wasn't really able to get in, and that's where we see Zorrow getting a lot more of those kills. I think I don't want to say this in quite a negative way, but I think it is a bit of a tank diff there as well. The amount of space that was being taken by NKZ allows for Zorrow to get those kills. I think we need to see more resource being put into Skytorr to take and hold space, and that way Will can do really, like, sorry, not Will, Condi, yeah, can do what he needs to do.
I actually disagree with that. I think that the big stylistic difference we saw on those first 2 points was, of course, Condi, who was on that Tracer, and the Echo coming out of Will. Now, in terms of your matchup, that should be more backline pressure for the Tracer. Obviously, you have a much easier time accessing it, finishing those kills, and escaping if the situation goes foobar. But from the Echo, that means frontline damage galore. It's going to be much easier for NKZ just because Skytorr has to contend with the extra damage that the Flying Omnic can dish out. And because of that, constantly we saw Ilpi having to keep Skytorr topped up, full HP, and that's resources which aren't going into Condi, that aren't going into Wex, and so it is a knock-on effect that makes it much harder for these DPS to find that same level of value. The opposite side of things, Condi isn't dealing all that damage to frontline. He's forced into these off-angle duels with Will, who's getting pocketed the entire time by yoham and Strebor.
Yeah, exactly. I do think it is just a case of if Condi and Wex could get in there, do a bit more damage, get a couple more kills on the off angles, it'd be good. But like you say there, it's the amount of damage that Echo provides forces a frontline battle primarily, not just that backline versus backline kind of duel. And a lot of times, even when you saw Wex and Condi going for these backline attempts, it's Strebor and yoham that are there just able to fend them off.
Yeah, super enjoyed as well how Will was able to mark Condi, again, especially on that first sub-map. The amount of times where Condi tries to go in deep, but instantly punished by an Echo, just like shooting him out of nowhere, or a railgun from Zorrow would just flatten him across the map. Like, it is rough, and I don't think Condi is playing a particularly bad game at all by any means, but repeatedly shut down. I think did get to warm up a little bit towards the end of the map, but their warm-up is now done. They've given away their gimme map, and now it's going to have to be full pressure out of here. Remember, too, Supershy Red, they came from the upper bracket. They've came from a close 3-2 loss against esports organization who are waiting in the wings of that grand final. And that means that They did have first map choice. They lose Samoa. Again, loser's pick, so they've got another choice here, but I don't quite know where they take it.
Yeah, because they need to take it somewhere you can't just play the Echo and burst down the front line. Whether that's a map that has a lot more natural cover, that sort of thing, you know, able to get Skytorr in there and take tank presence, free up the DPS line for some of those duels. Whatever it is, I think they need to pick it very, very smartly, because otherwise you're just going to get ran down in the front line again because of the amount of damage that Echo puts out. It doesn't even matter if you do let Condi run in your backline for any reason, because that, like, you're not going to be able to get any kills off of that compared to the tank damage that is going through.
Pick has come through. It's going to be Hollywood. I quite like this overall. I think that it makes the Echo still pretty playable, but I think the crucial thing is what we talked about in that pre-show, Toasty. Remember, the flexibility on the tanks.
Yeah.
NKZ is not really going to want to play these dive tanks, these Doomfists, these Winstons, what have you. He said he wanted to pilot the D.Va here, and, you know, fair play to him, but that same restriction not going to be the case from Sky, so we see him lock the Winston even in Samoa, and he's got the option to play the Doomfist, of course, to play the Scientist here. We've got some variety, we have some map choices, and, you know, even if you allow Will to play the Echo, allowing your tank absolute free reign, enabling your tank in Overwatch 2, the biggest name of the game. And so I think this is a great choice for Supershy Red, but still there is that question mark. Can your DPS put it up?
Yeah, and it's a DPS duel that makes me think, I mean, Hollywood is so, like, flank-centric, DPS-centric, right? You've got all these high grounds to play with, and who's that going to benefit? Zorrow, right? You're able to get these rails from the high grounds, take angles, you know, that Supershy Red would not normally expect you to take, and Hollywood is just one of those maps where if you are on the attack and you get held at second point, for any reason in any fight, you have to fight tooth and nail for that high ground back, which Zorrow is going to exploit.
I mean, hit scans from the heavens, yeah, they are going to wreak havoc on Hollywood. Only thing that matters is which side wreaks the havoc onto which.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, we've just seen Zorrow have a fantastic map. Some might even call it a heater, what he just performed on Samoa. Could be different when we head into a new map, when we have some adaptations. We could be seeing an entirely different ball game.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this is where things are going to get switched up. I think this is where adaptations need to come through, whether that's you know, changing Condi over to maybe an Echo, or changing up your tank line a little bit to go a bit deeper, a bit more aggressive, and eliminate that backline. Whatever it may be, Hollywood, I think, is the map for it.
Yeah, I mean, we said it before, we'll say it again. And this is a great map, I think, for both sides. Going to be really curious to see how both teams elect to approach the first point, because, of course, those high grounds so oppressive throughout second. I think it kind of is the crux of the map, that second point. But, you know, first is a necessary precursor to that. So do you want to set yourself up early, you know, play maybe a suboptimal defense in the hopes that when you do go to second, you get an advantage over your opponents, right? Or you could do the exact opposite. You could put all your eggs into the first point basket, when they run maybe in an Orisa double hit scan setup to play from Cafe, jam the choke and spam them out as they try and walk. You've got that option for the setup for Supershy Red. We said we'd see it, and it's out here. Skytor's running out on the Winston. Note as well, Wex is on the Ashe. The sightline's a lot more favorable for it. Didn't see it on Samoa, but we saw what Zorrow could do with the hero.
Yeah, I think... See, the thing is here, I don't think this comp's going to get played by Supershy Blue.
Yeah, that's trolling.
It would not work into what Red is playing as well.
Right,
yeah, they're trolling us. NKZ D.Va, you mentioned that. I think this is what they're going to tend towards. Yeah, the Kiri Lucio, the D.Va, you want to go hyper aggro, and I think Prash and Ilpi are going to have their work cut out for them. Staying alive, keeping Skytorr alive, and putting resource into Wex and Condi. I mean, this is going to be so difficult.
Typically, NKZ wants to play reactive and punish Skytor's dives. You don't have the same ability to take that frontline damage. Yeah, Skytorr has to disengage any time that NKZ goes on the frontline. Look how passive he has to play. He's so scared of the D.Va threat.
Absolutely. I mean, that's 2 jumps used to disengage rather than re-engage. I mean, yeah, Supershy Red have angles, they're able to pump in damage, but it doesn't matter, because you get that dive, you get a 1-clip, you get, you know, the mines coming through from Will, and it's NKZ, Will, and Zorrow that just come in, find that dive, and blitz everyone down. If Supershy Red were too passive.
If I'm playing Winston into D.Va, then I have to avoid the frontline trade at all costs, right? But that means burning my cooldowns to do so. Yeah. Ceding all that space as well leaves it wide open for the DPS of Supershy Blue to take that space. And we've spoken at length about the skills that Will and Zorrow bring to the table. We see it again here. 5.5 minutes on the time bank. Wex over to the Sojourn. Supershy Red firmly on the back foot now.
Yeah, Supershy Red, I mean, Skytor's going to jump between the high ground and the low ground here, just try and poke and prod wherever they can, but the problem is Supershy Blue have rotations they can take to just storm this high ground, and when that happens, all resources are going to be used on trying to disengage from that push that comes through from Supershy Blue. I mean, they've got a pulse bomb building up. Will build up that copy very soon. It's just biding time here for Blue.
This walk is super tricky for them. Eventually the engage comes through. Supershy Red finally hit the go button, and they do buy space, yes, but no kills from it so far.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You use a lot of resources. You use bubble, you use jump, you use your Suzu to engage onto that. And what do you get from it? A bit of damage, a bit of ult charge. I mean, there's no ults here for Supershy Red. A lot of pressure onto NKZ here in the front line, but unfortunately that taser doesn't cut it against the armor that D.Va has. Half the health bar is full of armor, you know? Lots of damage reduction there. I think this Winston struggles so much.
Very much so. Engage looking to come through onto the back line, and finally the punish can come through. Lovely stick from Condi, but won't find the final blow.
It's an ult for an ult trade, though, and you'll take that, right? Copy versus a literal cooldown in Pulse Bomb, you take that. Will goes down here from Supershy Blue as well. LP falls to Zorrow. It's a bit up in the air. I think losing your Kiri is a bit more impactful, though. Skytorr is going to go in with barely any resources here. Just going to have to use that Primal to try and stay alive, but doesn't proc it. Decides to just die on cart.
It makes sense. You are down a couple members of your team, but that means more free push coming through from Supershy Blue. They have been stymied a little bit onto the second point, but still pretty smooth sailing for them, all things considered. Ult's pretty good. Support ult's very strong. The nuke, cosmetic at best, but they can find the value from it. Ult advantage though for Red. They have to leverage this for a stop here and now.
Oh, okay. Very quick engage coming through there. Wexa burns it down immediately. Strebor does layer the sound barrier on top of that, which I think was just a precautionary measure. Problem is, Supershy just used 4 ultimates and got decimated. Supershy Red.
They can maybe clutch this. No, I tell a lie because NKZ finds the final blow. And I have to say, I turn around, I look at the faces of Supershy Red, and I see frustration. This isn't the way they wanted to start this game out, and I have to say, this matchup on Hollywood is not at all how they envisioned it going. I would love to see adaptation from Skytorr. I think a Doomfist here, for example, would avoid a lot of the problems that they are currently running into, but they elect to move Condi over to the Echo, Wex over to the Tracer to augment that dive. I don't mind this, but you need to punish Will.
Yeah, I mean, Will is going to be a thorn in your side, and I think having Condi on this Echo can do some duels, sure, but are you really going to be able to take it to Will, who has been an amazing Echo so far? You got this Tracer duel happening here as well, as Zorrow gets taken down, Skytorr finding the final blow there. NKZ, a bit too close to the sun, gets taken out of mech, taken down. And now I think this is where you could potentially stabilize, but again, you've got to convert this fight now.
Close spawns here for Supershy Blue make it awkward, but Red have such an advantage. They need to be finding these cleanup frags here. Would be lovely to get it onto yoham, but looks like most of the members will escape unharassed, so Supershy Red going to have to disengage for now. Oh, it gets awkward Prash! That's tragic!
Yep, absolutely. It's just going wrong here for Supershy Red. They're trying to engage. When they engage, NKZ just bursts them all down. I mean, you see, a lot of these fights, Skytorr, the last to die.
Yeah, I mean, again, we look at the ult scenario, you've got the poles, you've got the Primal Rage. It isn't terrible for Supershy Red. Blue is spawn camping, and there's the dupe from Will so early on, but knocked out at least.
Yeah, Condi does go down there in the midst of all that to NKZ. Zorro's Pulse Bomb hits home, 0.16 meters to go, and this Primal is not long. And there we go. Final kill comes through there onto Wex. I mean, Supershy Red, they could have done better than that, I think.
3 minutes, 16 seconds on the time bank. That is not what Red envisioned when they locked into Hollywood. Really struggling on their own map picks here, and unfortunately not the game that I think they wanted to play. Plenty of adaptations for them to make. I think they still do have ideas on what to do, but really struggling to implement them. This Winston dive, I think it's fair to say, has not borne through, and if I were them, now is the best time to swap off. You don't have to worry about your ult economy. You don't have to worry about that momentum, because it has all been reset by the side swap. That being said, though, I mean, what do you move towards? I mean, I've spoken before how I would maybe like to see, you know, a Doomfist. They've tried all these DPS combos, Tracer Sojourn, Tracer Echo, Echo Sojourn, and you know, none of them really have paid as much dividends as maybe they would have liked. So maybe you look somewhere else. Maybe you look towards maybe a bit of a less meta pick. That being said, again, they've tried so much and they've struggled with so much, and if I'm Supershy Blue, my composition doesn't really have that same, you know, obvious weakness. It's so well-rounded, so, you know, in terms of the raw compositional matchup for first point, I'd almost like to see them go back to the Orisa, just go back to just running it through the choke, where you can think about just frontline trading, because watching Skytorr desperately kite NKZ time and time again, it's not a pretty watch, man. He's really struggling out there.
Yeah, absolutely. As well, I think not only do you need to adapt the composition, but the playstyle. They're playing too passive. Supershy Red are giving up too much space to Supershy Blue, allowing all their players to die off. And like I said, Skytorr dies last in a lot of these fights because they just ignore Skytorr. They do enough damage to make him disengage. What happens then?
They're walking out now at least, and spotting the D.Va once again. They have at least thought about how to adjust this. I like how they're scaling right now. They have taken a lot of forward space. They've bought it, remember. This is what we chided Red for on their own aggression. We'll see if they can find some more success with NKZ there to peel off some of their dive for that defense matrix.
High ground taken here by Skytorr, so just trying to control some areas that Will and Zorrow can use. It's a backline dive here, separating out the Kiri and the Sojin. Zorrow almost goes down, but Wex loses the duel by a hair. And Prash goes down as well. First fight there. Not going to be Supershy Reds, and Skytorr gets staggered.
Yeah, it's not the worst stagger in the world, but it still hurts to concede. I like the play from Supershy Red. The jump comes in, and it is well placed. It does remove Cafe as a position that Zorrow can play from. It does split yoham away from his Sojin, but unfortunately the space is not enough because a rail headshot removes the Tracer from the equation. Again, that's the Zorrow effect we've been seeing all series long. Reset here, a minute gone. Red try again.
Yeah, Red are going to go for this once again. Taking a lot of poke on the engage, and with a Sojin, I mean, you're going to expect that. NKZ almost chunked down. That is what you need to take advantage of right there, right? NKZ being out of position, you can almost burst them down, force resources. It's exactly what Supershy Red need. The problem is, they haven't taken any point presence off of the back of it. They're not converting when they have an advantage. That's a good advantage. There we go. Zorrow goes down, removing a lot of that DPS presence. NKZ gets demeched as well, even though Will does win that duel against Wex. And where is CaptainPrash? What are you doing? Gets out alive.
Yeah. Now we'll be able to escape. Supershy Blue thinking about a recontest, judging by this close positioning of Will. There are still low members on both sides, and the re-engage comes through, so awkward.
Monkey just flying towards Will there. Invests the pulse bomb. Now 2 traces on the board for Supershy Red. 1 pulse invested. Not even needed, to be honest, as 3 players are down on Supershy Blue. And finally, Supershy Red managed to convert.
Yep, that they do. Cap comes through, but already a worse time bank than I think what they can realistically muster. Will goes down late, going to hurt a little bit for the side of Blue, which means they can't set up aggressively. Know how instantly Skytorr's taking the forward spawns, but again, with the uptime of the Winston, I do want to speak a little bit about their composition, because running this Kiri Lucio backline, it is the most meta, it is the most sustainable, but it's not so sustainable for your frontline. You just don't have the healing throughput to keep Skytorr as, topped up as he maybe would have wanted playing something like an Ana Brig. So that is a concession they've elected to play for. It is backfiring to them at a certain extent, but a lovely play from it. We see how the Kiri augments the dives in that previous, and ripping the Kitsune rush, they just have to give up the space.
Yep, Supershy Red disengage, re-engage now with a sound barrier. Good call from CaptainPrash, but they don't convert it. Again, CaptainPrash almost goes down here, actually. Backline dive from Will and NKZ. Zorrow using the overclock, pumping in the damage there as well with an assist. And you use sound barrier there for what? It gets chunked down in half a second.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of that sound barrier at all. It looked like you'd already relatively safely disengaged that Kitsune rush. The beat comes in too early to, save you on the disengage. Too late for the re-engage. It's really not ideal by any stretch of the imagination. That is, though, that's a free pick. That's yoham down, and that just might be Supershy Red taking a gimme fight.
Yeah, I mean, Supershy Red needs to convert again, and this is what I keep talking about, these conversions of advantages. They find Zorrow, so I think they do manage to get that. Problem is, though, it took a random kill out of the middle of nowhere to make that happen. You can't replicate that consistently.
Absolutely not, no. Bomb thrown in, bold at best, and won't find anything. I think no surprise there. A lot of space taken now. Finally, an aggressive duplicate on the Lucio. Now, this is not something you see every day, Toasty.
Condi Lucio might be a little bit cursed, and yeah, it is. It just gets immediately chunked down. Zorrow invests in the rail for that one, and Supershy Blue get to keep on just recuperating their resources. They have a sound barrier. They can use that whenever they want to. The longer this fight goes, the better for them as well with that Kitsune soon.
Yeah, they would love to see how they elect to invest it. Pulse out for Wex, won't connect. Beat from Supershy Blue means they can again increase the tempo.
Yeah, absolutely, and that tempo comes from the Kitsune rush. LP uses it. It's a bit out of the way, but it goes on cart, so you can really fend off Supershy Blue from trying to re-engage onto it. Everyone's low in this small corner here, but the Kitsune rush comes in as a reinvestment. Okay, Supershy Blue managed to force Red away just a little bit. Skytorr going to restage up on the high ground.
at least for now. 2 meters left to go means that at least one member of Supershy Blue is going to have to tag onto this point time and time again. Maybe that positional advantage will give them some sort of leg up here for Red, and they have the space, they have the primal active. Is this their chance, Toasty?
Yeah, they need to actually win this fight now, but Zorrow finds LP, almost finds Wex as well, who has to just blink away, not take that fight. Wex and Skytorr, doesn't matter. They get the kills. They almost managed to win this one out. Yeah, they do, okay. And
cosmetic beat from CaptainPrash. That's one he's going to be wanting back. Comes in, all members are dead, and yeah, he knows what he's done. He knows what he's done. That's a brutal one. That being said, both carries went down early in that fight. LP is smidgen earlier than yoham, but that means there is no sustainability in that fight. That means there is basically no healing through, but all damage is permanent, and Supershy Red's team a little bit more likely to stick. They have second point now. Again, their time bank is worth. They have a chance to complete the map, and with time too.
You've got a beat and a bomb coming up here for Supershy Blue. That overclock going to get used early. I would take a slow fight here if I were them, but you know what? When Zorro's hitting shots like that, you don't need to. Two taken down off the bat there. Wex trades out, and yoham does as well, but it doesn't matter. Supershy Blue, ooh, okay. There's a couple of kills that come through there. Skytorr and Wex keeping it alive, and Will is just hiding behind all this cosmic imagery.
Yeah, we'll give them time of day here because it looks like Supershy Red are trying to clutch this out, and they are finding some significant success. They've got the closer spawns, they've got the space, and they've now got the payload moving. Again, the ult scenario not perfect for either side, but Supershy Blue do have a bit of a leg up. This pulse bomb though from Wex could be the difference between finishing with time or not finishing at all.
The problem is you need to land it onto yoham after the Suzu, or after this beat, potentially. Actually, Strebor uses it early, goes aggressive. Condi taken down in the skies. Wex going to blink away, disengage. They know they can choose their fights for another day.
I mean, NKZ has been a bloody menace the entire time, and Zorrow, Strebor, yoham, they all take it to the spawn of Supershy Red. They're going to have to win a fight just to escape their birthplace here, Toasty, and even after that, there's going to be another one on the objective. This is tricky for them. A minute and 30 seconds left to go. Remember, they need to cap with time.
Yeah, and that's the important part here, is getting time on that time bank. Otherwise, it's a draw at best scenario. You really have to do this within the next minute, and Skytorr with a primal is going to go aggro, so that's a start. Going to put some pressure on the back line. Will, though, finds Condi, unfortunately. It's going to be the Kitsune rush used here by Ilpi, just to force the cart presence. Skytorr is here as well, putting in some damage onto Strebor and Zorrow, but it doesn't matter. Ilpi goes down, and you know, that Kitsune rush, which was so crucial, is wasted now.
Last fight territory here for Supershy Red. As you mentioned, they get these late staggers too. I mean, Kitsune rush invested. This is tragic for Red. They have one more chance, but it's going to need to be mechanical brilliance to crack this point open and finish with time. They need to clean it out so damn quickly, and you know, at this point now, they're going to have to finish in overtime. Almost guaranteed. The pulse at the spawn just going to slow them further, but that time buying, you know, just making it a smidgen slower, moving them to a snail's pace. That's exactly what we need to see from Supershy Blue. Red going to need a miracle.
Yeah, absolutely. Supershy Red going to go in with this primal, forcing yoham away from the rest of the team, but no TP used actually in that situation. yoham stays alive through it. Skytorr now just trying to disrupt, do what they can. Sound barrier from Strebor. Prash has a later sound barrier though. It comes in, hits all 5, and NKZ gets demeched. yoham low on HP as well. If they can confirm these kills, they will manage to finish in OT, but Will finds Ilpi, finds Skytorr, Zorrow. Okay, another kill comes through there onto Prash, and Supershy Red, the advantage that they had is just getting torn away from them by these DPS players. Zorrow cleans up, and the overtime burns it away. An arm's length away for Supershy Red as Blue takes second map.
Heartbreak there. They were so damn close, but it's a fantastic clutch. We put the pressure on the DPS of Supershy Blue to perform time and time again. And they do. Time and time again. That time it's a double from Will to open up proceedings, a double from Zorrow to close it down. And folks, we said this game would be close, and it is competitive at times, but it's those two who are just running away with things. NKZ2 putting on an absolute clinic on the Diva. Seemed everywhere at once on the map, marking Skytorr, Condi, Wex as well. Fantastically played from the three of them, and that trio is powering them to a quick, clean 3-0. Folks, one map left, and we could be seeing our second grand finalist locked in to match up against esports organization.
Yeah.
For Supershy Red, you're going to need the full reverse sweep, and it's going to have to start on Flashpoint.
Yeah, I mean, Flashpoint is going to suck for them. It's one of those maps where you get a good ult economy and you just snowball it. The replays here, though, I mean, it just shows Supershy Blue absolutely pummeling Red. I mean, this fight here, I think this is very pivotal, by the way, that we just showed. 4 ultimates in that one fight and they lose it, right?
Yeah.
That just dooms them for the rest of that point.
I mean, again, I'm so impressed by what we're seeing out of Supershy Blue. They look really shaky in those last couple days of play.
Yeah.
You know, they've lost to teams like Civ Art got a job. They've lost to teams like Esports Organization, and you know, in a manner that some might call not as competitive maybe as you would have expected. Yeah. We hear from Red that they're playing shaky. We hear that they think they can take him, but when it comes to putting that to the test, when it comes to putting the pedal to the metal, they come up clutch, they come up huge. Yeah. And because of that, up 2-0, and they look teed up for a third.
Yeah, like, if this is a 3-0 sweep, man, like, listen, we were talking about this before, right? The stage presence, it's a completely different world out there, right? You can have Prash all you want, you know, but if you are nervous, if you have those stage nerves in front of a crowd like this, being casted, you know, live, it's very nerve-wracking, and I think that could be what's hitting Supershy Red here. Prash is supposed to be that incredible presence that we were talking about, but right now, Strebor and yoham, they are a solid backline, and I've said this before, I rate them. But I thought there'd be a lot more resistance from Supershy Red. I think they're starting to lose it a little bit.
And, you know, the kind of way that this matchup was characterized in terms of the personalities was Supershy Red, they are the fiery ones, they are the loud ones. Yeah. I mean, we take that narrative, we run with it. Supershy Blue, they're cold as ice, sheer cold, and because of that, I mean, they're just not feeling the nerves, they're not feeling the pressure. They are consistently performing when they need to most.
Yeah, they are red hot right now. But before we see what happens in our map 3, we're going to be heading to a short break here. Give the players some time to rest. Be seeing you shortly.
the series we have got developing for us here at Insomnia 72. So far, Supershy Blue have been able to find a synergy and expel the nerves that had been really plaguing them so far through this tournament. They are now at match point. My question out there to you in the audience is who thinks Supershy Blue is going to take the next game and progress to the grand final? Supershy Blue have a few fans. Maybe, however, you want to see more Overwatch. You want the reverse sweep. Who thinks Supershy Red can turn it round? Alrighty, you guys, you sound pretty up for it, pretty excited. I can tell you that all sorts of great things go into this production. It's not just me looking all fancy in the weird suit on stage. It's not the wonderful casters over there bringing you the games. It's not just the players. We have an incredible backstage team here. We put in so much work on this Easter weekend to make things run smoothly. And I do believe that we've got a little bit of footage of some of what's been going on backstage that I thought we could treat you all with. Okay, that might have been the wrong footage. I promise you, they're working so hard back there. Most of them. I'll tell you who has been working hard and who can't wait to bring you all this amazing action. Let me throw you back to the ever-fantastic Toasty and Spectrion.
Thank you very much, Greyheart. And after a short break, we'll be heading back into our match shortly. Remember, there is still one map left to be played, even though Supershy Blue are kind of dominating it.
Yeah, it's so far looking pretty firmly in the favor of Supershy Blue, and you know that does make a lot of sense rationally. You know, we speak about how they are the primary roster, how Red are just the substitutes, so to speak, and because of that, they are looking in charge. They are looking really quite organized, and I have to say, from a personal standpoint, I've been super impressed by the individual level that we've seen brought from Supershy Blue. I highlighted them before. I'll mention them again. For me personally, the standouts have been the DPS line Zorrow, Will, of course, and NKZ on that diva throughout maps, who was a force of nature. Of course, Toasty has spoken at length about how, you know, Strebor, yoham, those two are bringing also a fantastic game. So it is a whole team performance, the full five fingers coming together to form a fist. Unfortunately, we just haven't seen that same level of performance from Supershy Red. It has been flashes of brilliance from pretty much everyone. They've shown that they have the caliber for it, but it's about, you know, condensing it all into a full kind of deal. They have to come together as the package to keep performing, and so far we just haven't seen that.
Yeah, it feels like, to use your analogy, it feels like the hand is missing like a thumb or like an index finger or something. I don't know what they're missing, but hopefully we find it here on Route 66. What a map choice. I quite like this one.
I'm not a fan. I'm going to say it straight up here. The sightline's super long. We've seen Zorro roll in the lobby 2 maps in a row. If you're going to serve them up an opportunity on a silver platter to do it a 3rd time, then, well, I respect your bravery, if nothing else, but it's going to be damn tricky. Again, this is going to be a map that NKZ is going to at least flirt with the diva with, and again, one of his strongest picks, Will, has free access to that, you know, Echo. So in terms of the hero choices it allows, I'm not a massive fan, but we both know that hero choices are not the only thing that decides how a game of Overwatch comes down. It's about how well you know the map, how well you can control the relevant space. So far, again, it has been Supershy Blue who've been the ones on top of that as well, but if they've chosen this map, have Red, then there's going to be a damn good reason for it, and I have faith that they can continue to perform. This defensive comp we've been seeing, not what you'd expect too much. Still sometimes to mess around. Yeah, this is much more like it. Orisa onto Skytorr. I like this a lot more, a lot harder to punish than the Winston. Wex and Condi on these longer range DPS. Note the lack of a Tracer, but that does mean you have a lot of damage to pour into the front line. Whatever NKZ plays, he's going to have a damn rough time of it, and right now, looking like the Sigma, going to need to use that shield, that kinetic grasp to absorb that damage. DPS, very likely going to be standard, I expect Sojourn out of Zorro, just going to be a Widow for the spawn stop, so could be the final time, folks, that these spawn doors unlock. How are we feeling?
I mean, we've seen this before here, all right, Spection. We've seen the Sigma versus the Orisa, and I think Supershy Blue here with the Ash Echo is so much tank presence onto, damage onto Skytorr, going to reduce that tank presence. It'll be a very difficult run here. I think for both teams, they both have their weaknesses and their strengths. Supershy Blue, they really just want to kind of force Supershy Red off of this high ground, and Skytorr already dropped.
Oh, lovely shot coming through from Wex. Zorrow gets flattened, and with it go the chances of Supershy Blue in this engagement. Instantly a disengage has to come through, and at least no more kills will be hemorrhaged, but a fantastic start. If Wex can continue that, 2 more times, even just one more opening pick like that from your Sojourner, that's his value done. That's his work firmly put out in the fight. Don't need to see any more from him, and a player like that we are going to see more. So reset through, Blue re-engaging. We'll see what they have to say in this fight.
Problem is here, I don't think forcing cart is going to really work for Supershy Blue. You need to find alternative angles, especially if you're playing Zorrow and Will on these kind of off-angle characters. Skytorr, okay, gets caught with no support whatsoever. LP must not have had a TP to use, and it's just a full disengage. They give up a little bit of space, but they'll re-engage soon, I reckon. Prash
can come back to Taxi, and Skytorr's move straight back over to the Winston. Thinks he'll have an easier time when playing into the Sigma, and to his credit, that is probably the case. This Echo duel happening in the Skybox, but no member falling just yet. Going to go back to the airfields to rearm, refuel, and go back in is Will.
That is an Echo diff right there, and Will is going to look to enact a Lucio diff as well. Prash up in the sky as well as Will, both just trying to duel each other out.
There's Cat.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what Will was going for there, to be honest.
Yeah, I think a bit of a misclick on the duplicate CaptainPrash, likely to be dispatched. I tell a lie because Wex is there providing Overwatch for his support player. They can set up a hold of second. 5 minutes left to burn through on the timeout. This is going to be a tricky one by any stretch of the imagination, folks. Supershy Red going to have come up clutch.
Yeah, Supershy Red, they're holding close here. That's good, but it means a Skytorr will end up having to use that jump to disengage if he's playing from this sort of angle. I do like the concave they have, especially with that kill onto Zorrow. Wasn't even a rail, just a regular shot from the primary fire. It's going to force Supershy Blue a little bit further back, though.
That it will, and again, this is time bought. Precious time shaved off the bank. Wex up to another rail, Overclock online as well. This is the strong fight of Supershy Blue. I would be a little bit worried about the flux of NKZ. You're going to need to save the sound barrier for anything else, and that next fight might just be a gimme.
Well, it's going to be Kitsune Rush early on, Overclock layered. Both support ults here for Supershy Blue is just craziness. A lot of ultimates used there. It's going to be trades, but it looks like NKZ's getting a lot of tank presence out of it. LP and Skytorr go down. I mean, what do Wex and Condi really do here? Prash can't provide enough heals. It's going to be a sound barrier. Okay, Disruptor shot hits Zorrow, and then Condi finding NKZ. Nice recovery there.
Super weird ult engagement there from Supershy Blue. I expect they tried to bait the sound barrier of CaptainPrash by popping Strebors, but he doesn't fall for the bait. He does hold the sound barrier like we said he had to do, and showing his value as a main support player is able to block out that Gravitic Flux. So fantastic from Prash, redeeming himself from a couple of those mishaps on Hollywood. Payload will be pushed a little bit. NKZ obviously has adapted over to the D.Va, so going to be a hell of a lot harder for Skytorr, but he will have that primal rage if the going gets tough.
It just feels like this is going to be the same thing as Hollywood. You got the D.Va versus Winston matchup. Skytorr won't have too much space to work with. Whoa, Will! Some nice shots and a focusing beam to finish it off. Will gets the safety as well. Skytorr unable to avenge their fallen comrade, and right now there's no true disengage for Supershy Red. They're just going to bleed.
Yeah, Pulse invested a little bit too late to matter, but it doesn't matter. Supershy Blue have the wipe, and an exit frag from Wex is nice consolation. Zorrow will recoup it though. Pushing into his final objective. I'm not quite sure a touch can come through, but they are going to try for it. Condi's popped the duplicate and using the D.Va Matrix to force the choke. It's tricky, and I'm still not sure a touch can come through.
Well, Condi's going to invest that duplicate, get onto cart, and won't die as soon as they get demeched as well, leaving a bit more duplicate time there for them to stay alive. Skytorr has a primal if they want to keep on investing into this, but I think with Condi going down, you're going to lose a lot of damage. Just a bit of cleanup coming through here as Prash gets a consolation kill. But Supershy Blue do manage to get it through. 3 minutes 30 on the time bank now.
Again, it's NKZ who's just consistently shutting down Condi. He adapts once again over to the Sombra. Again, he could get spy check, but I think this is probably the easiest time he'll have all game. Self-destruct, speculative at best, won't catch anybody. It's one ultimate down for Supershy Red, where they have so much more work to do, so many more ults to bait up. The whole 5 was available for Blue at the beginning of this fight. One down, NKZ over to the Orisa. maybe some more freedom for Skytorr here.
Yeah, I think so, but Skytor's still going to struggle to really get in without there being a lot of peel. I mean, the Orisa has CC. Skytorr immediately jumps out after just engaging, uses the Primal to disengage again. Ilpi has no Suzu, so they're just going to use a Kitsune Rush and try and invest with that. But NKZ holding strong in the front line, almost goes down. Strebor! Oh, just a tiny bit too late on that sound barrier. NKZ for Ilpi trade, but I think with yoham finding Prash, sound barrier out of the fight, Supershy Red lose this one.
Yeah, I would actually say that's probably an advantageous trade for Supershy Red 9 times out of 10. They give up the space, yes, but they do have closer spawns, so they can push back. Blue get a little bit of push, but they're going to have to cede the objective.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a jostle around right now to try and get on that point. Supershy Red taking the presence when they can, but it's just Skytor's getting pressured out constantly. Wex, okay, finds 3 there with the overclock. That's what we like to see.
4 in the end of things. I mean, we were saying how Zorrow has been having maybe a stronger series than him. So Wex finally finds his voice here on Hollywood. Oh, nope.
Wrong map.
Get there in the end, but still a lovely 4-piece. Exactly what his team needed to find the closeout. It's kind of spending from them, spending both the EMP and the overclock. Only going to have the sound barrier to play with, but the same could be said of Supershy Blue. They are quiet. They are poor. There is lint in their pockets, and only a pause from Zorrow to try and make miracles.
Oh, that recall was forced because of that virus. Nice hit from Condi. It means there's going to be at least 8 seconds till a proper engage can come through here from Supershy Blue. Just waiting out for that recall to be back online, but NKZ taking a lot of flack. CaptainPrash actually dueling out against Zorrow. Pulse Bomb invested, but it doesn't hit Prash. Zorrow finds nothing with that Pulse Bomb. They're empty-handed now. Supershy Blue have to try and win a neutral fight as Zorrow gets hit by Wex. Wex is finally starting to show up here.
I mean, Supershy Blue are too committed and too far away from ults to play for them, so they're going to have to disengage. Next fight, sure, they can look at their ultimates to victory, but this one they're going to have to concede. Supershy Red find the closeout, and we are here in last fight territory. Folks, this one could come down to the wire. Ultimates are bound for both sides. Condi has to go super aggressive because this EMP could be the difference between a hold and conceding that third and final point. And the same could be said of Supershy Blue. Look at them, so close to everything. 81% the furthest bar Zorro's overclock. So it is going to be 4 on the board. An aggressive push from Supershy Red.
Yes, forcing a quick fight, knowing the ults aren't there. yoham caught in the middle of nowhere, TP's away. And that's a strong disengage from Supershy Blue. But Supershy Red only used 1 ult for that. They now have an EMP, a beat, a Primal Rage, Overclock coming up as well. This is going to be a crazy last fight here. Supershy Blue waiting for the moment to engage. That's the one. yoham gets in there. Kitsune Rush. Burst down Prash. The sound barrier is out of the fight now. Supershy Red trying to stay alive. It's going to be the Primal Rage and a solo EMP onto an NKZ. What a smart decision. Taking them out of mech. 1 down on both sides, but the better spawns here for Red. Going to be that overclock. Wex gets in there. Sound barrier procs onto Wex as well. They can go super aggro. Finds Will on the side. Forced into the backline now as Strebor goes down as well. Supershy Red starting to come back with vigor here.
We finally find Supershy Red here on Route 66. Skytorr with the 3-piece to close things out. But I have to say, the hero of that fight is Condi. What an EMP.
Yeah.
Because not only does it allow the Diva to be knocked out to mech, the ability lockout also stops the self-destruct from being used to remech.
Yeah.
Brilliant decision making. And taking down one of the big thorns in their side allows them to hold still. That's not the task over. The job's only half done here, folks. They're going to need to basically cap out the map if they want to get their reverse sweep started here on Route 66, and that is no mean feat. NKZ almost certainly going to be locking the Diva, which means Skytorr going to have a rough time of things if he, again, decides that Winston is his best bet. So, again, I would love to see that Orisa come out. Time will tell, of course, what they end up doing, but I can't say, Toasty, I'm just really happy we have Wex really shooting now in this series.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the duo between Wex and Condi now is one of those where you've got the Sombra and you're able to get in there with the overclock after an EMP, or you're able to even just neutral rails, right? This Sombra provides so much utility, and Supershy Red don't appear to be staying on it, but again, it's in the spawn room. The thing is with that Sombra, it puts so much pressure on NKZ. Like, Supershy Blue, they don't really know what to do when NKZ gets demeched. Those disengages haven't been as strong as they were perhaps on Hollywood.
Yeah, definitely true. I think it's a little bit harder to disengage on this map. Normally, the kind of positions you fight don't have those same, areas of egress where you might find a little bit of safety, an island of solitude, of sanctity. Widowmaker, again, out from Wex for the spawn peak. Very likely won't find anything unless the player has been paid off. And this time, nobody takes the money.
Yeah, just, you know, the 5 seconds of life with a playtime that we deserve in this tournament here.
Of course.
Spectrum, but Supershy Red, back over to what we know. You know, this Condi Sombra, I like it. It's going to put pressure on NKZ, force them to play a bit more passive, give Skytorr more space. It really has that knock-on effect, and I think Supershy Blue really need to be careful about where they take these fights, especially with Will getting caught out like that. Wex, a lovely rail. And the thing is, Will had to play passive there because of the threat of a hack, not even just the hack itself.
Yeah, that's huge value coming through there from Condi, who's been playing this Sombra since at least the last season of Contenders, where he was one of the scariest in the season. Yeah. Being partnered up with Zorrow on the trade, so they were a deadly duo, and this time stressing his stuff here on the Insomnia stage. Will taken down early. Blue can re-engage, but this is already great progress from a side that we'd already written off.
Yoham low on HP as well, getting chunked away. Supershy Red don't realize it, though. They don't know that Yoham's low and able to take them down. NKZ just prodding around the side. Here's the engage, hack onto NKZ. Good stuff there. Almost gets taken down, but disengages just in time. A railgun is available here for Wax to try and finish off any kills. There we go, NKZ goes down. Lovely stuff there, and that's the thing. You need to pincer in on NKZ when they're backed into a corner like that.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. NKZ's been taken down once again, and Skytorr only exacerbates the problem. Still members fighting for Supershy Blue, but it's 3 versus 5, and Skytorr wants to reduce that to none. There's Condi on the Sombra, looking to finish off that EMP, but it's there in all but name. 5 ults alive for Supershy Red. They get first. Cap time bank not as, you know, overwhelming as their opponents was, but it's 45 seconds the difference. They can most definitely live with it. And they are finding it a hell of a lot easier. Now they have time to warm up, and most importantly, I think they have Condi on that Sombra. Supershy Blue, their ults are good too. Again, going to be 5 ults alive, so 10 in the server, folks. This is going to be an absolute conflagration.
Yeah, this is going to be an insane fight. Oh! What? Okay, 2 kills off the bat there from Supershy Blue. The EMP in response, but only 3 players, and none of them to follow up on it. Skytorr? I don't like that.
It's actually winnable here. It's 3v2. Supershy Blue do have the lead. They do have ults they can choose to invest, but Skytorr's making miracles happen with his own 2 hands, and when the respawns are here, as indeed they will be, Red can keep the tempo high.
Problem is there, Ilpi TP's in, and maybe half a second too late to get that Suzu onto Skytorr. They do stall the cart out throughout all of that, though. They push it a little bit.
That they do. At the end of the day, it is a successful fight for Supershy Blue. They spend 1 ult, they gain 2 out of their opponents, they get the hold to boot. Exactly what they need. You know, ult advantage fight, finding success there. Exactly what you want to see. But Wex, again, with the overlord line, has been finding success with them, at least here on Route 66, and disengage onto the Casino Rush. Fantastic, I tell a lie, because Skytorr gets taken down.
Yeah, Skytorr went too deep. A bit of a disconnect, I think, there between the rest of the team and Skytorr and what they were doing. They went hard, and then the rest of the team just disengaged.
Exactly. Now, again, you've at least got your full 5 back. That pick won't matter all that much because, again, your spawns are so close. But Supershy Red have been stymied a couple times now, down to just 3 minutes. And maybe running out of answers. Overclock ripped early for Wex. Clears the space, but will it find the final blow?
They just kite it. Like, the overclock can't kill you if you can't see it, right? Like, it's as easy as that. Overclock just wastes away, and that ult was used, I think, kind of preemptively. You got a Kitsune rush now to try and focus all these players inside these tunnels. As that's a bomb coming through, finds Wax. Skytorr finds Yoham, though. The sustain is down, so Strebor has to make up for it, but it doesn't matter. Zorrow goes down before that beacon hit them, and now Prash uses one in kind of as well, just to finish off this team fight. I think that's a safe option now.
Yeah, I mean, the beat of Prash is definitely fair. I'm not sure I'm in love with Strebors. Beating 3v4, yeah, it can allow you to clutch it out, but I mean, realistically, I think the consistent and the best case scenario was exactly what you found, you know, going 1-for-1 with your opponent, and I'm just not that sure that's valuable, especially when you need to be trying to beat Condi's EMP. You need to be hiding, splitting, trying to, you know, defensively save yourself from that ultimate, because CaptainPrash has nothing to beat on his own hand. He can go aggressive, you know, defensive whenever he wants, so I think that favors Red. I think they have the advantage as we head into the second fight off second point, but anything is possible here on the Insomnia stage.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this EMP So what we're really looking at in this team fight as Condi hits 3. NKZ can be followed up onto there as Zorrow invests a pulse bomb to no avail. Doesn't find anything with it. NKZ hacked once again, just perma-hacked it feels like in these team fights. As Skytorr's Primal Rage in the back, but Will diffing Wex on a character that isn't even his.
That is brutal. That is dirty. Overclock might not be charged up to, but it just doesn't matter at this point. Cleanup coming through from Will. I tell a lie, this battle could go either way. Condi finds an exit, but only that. 3 meters left to go. Minute and a quarter on the time bank. Supershy Red. They're scraping the bottom of the barrel here, folks. Ilpy's Kitsune Rush, it has to be the tool that cracks this ball open. They'll have time to charge into it. They'll have time to finish off Wex's Overcook as well, but I mean, I speak of the ults in Supershy Blue. They've got both backline ults to self-destruct as well coming online. We have to say that they have the advantage, and they have been finding more value with these far more consistently in the series.
And it's the Insomnia hopes on the line for this team fight here, I think, for Supershy Red. They lose this, they're out of it. Kitsune Rush, going to be used by yoham. NKZ, bomb. 2 ults from Supershy Blue, no kills again. Supershy Red now up on an overclock and a Kitsune Rush. They need to make this one count as they invest that rush first. Supershy Blue try and kite it, giving up a lot of space in the process, but they're going to come back. Wex, overclock on board, unable to find any kills with it so far, as Will and NKZ low. yoham almost taken down. Will instead the first to fall there. Strebor decides not to use this beat. They know they can come back for another fight on third as Skytorr cleaning everyone up with that taser.
Lovely play from Supershy Blue, recognizing that if they can disengage that Kitsune Rush, that they have a massive advantage into that next fight. We see that not only do they have ults, they have HP, they've got positioning, they've got cooldowns, they have everything in the world to close out that point. And so we are here into this last point. Supershy Red would love to get that second place finish. They would at least love to reach the grand finals and of course laddering up in the prize pool too. Each of these teams are in the money, but there's a £250 difference between second and third. First still on the cards for either of them. They would love to be there. And now Supershy Blue could be tested for a final time.
Yeah, Supershy Blue just need to hold strong here. Rotation up on the right side here from Supershy Red. Just poking and prodding, seeing what they can find. Skytorr getting kind of bullied out here though as NKZ puts a lot of pressure on. Both sides have a sound barrier, but Condi has an EMP after this beat comes through from Strebor potentially. Go aggressive, but doesn't matter. Supershy Red, they disengage. EMP comes through. NKZ gonna get chunked down. Condi finds the final blow there. Will taking up the mantle of the Orisa, but they get bursted as well. Not enough HP, and now Will staggering themselves.
I mean, I'm loving these EMPs we're seeing out of Condi. 90% of them come through right after Supershy Blue have pushed. It allows a great momentum swing. One kill goes the other way. It's cosmetic in the end. Supershy Red have got the payload moving once again. It's going to be an overtime push. One more battle to decide the map, folks.
Yeah, lovely stagger there onto Will, and it was actually a really good shot there from yoham onto Ilpy. Mid-air kunai headshot, but either way, it's this fight we've got to focus on. Kitsune Rush and Overclock is going to be the name of the game, I think. Terra Surge for zoning. Supershy Red, you've only got a Kitsune Rush for Supershy Blue, as our Terra Surge comes through, doesn't manage to hit anything, but Skytorr gets chunked down. NKZ so low as well, but NKZ goes down first. Wex with the overclock online now, gonna stop pummeling in those shots. Will on the Genji. Zorrow finds a rail, finds an overclock onto Condi as well. It's Wex and Zorrow all in the kill feed right now. It's last a minute here, trying to stall. B comes through, Strebor gets it just in time, and Supershy Blue, they steal away the hopes of a victory there from Red right at the last moment.
And it was the spawns that really bailed them out there. They were trading even Stevens out their entire last engagement. It could have been over if the spawns weren't there, but so far away from Supershy Red, so close for Blue, that it means that it doesn't matter if they trade evenly. There's always going to be an advantage there for Supershy Blue. They claim the victory, they claim the 3-0, they claim their spot in the grand finals. And for Supershy Red, they can hold their heads high knowing that they played a fantastic series of Overwatch, but it has to feel disappointing for them, right? They were feeling hopeful heading into a series. They spoke about how they thought their opponents might have been weak. They spoke about how they had, of course, the winners final, that they lost to EO in a closer spacing than, you know, their opponents did. But, you know, from winners final to eliminated in 3rd place, that's got to be a kick in the teeth.
It is a kick in the teeth, especially since they were so close to starting a reverse sweep there. And we've almost seen reverse sweeps in this tournament as well previously. EO was involved in one of them, but unfortunately it was not to be done today. And I mean, Supershy Blue versus EO, the rematch as our grand finals. You can see the players here. They're being sportsmanship about it, right? There's a lot of sportsmanship going on there, and these are players from the same organization. I mean, they're quite happy seeing their teammates, you know, going ahead into that grand final spot. Anyway, still a victory for the organization as a whole, as it is. But here's some highlights from that game. That just incredible Route 66 showing from both teams.
Yeah. I mean, you can't have too much animosity between these two, you know, teams of players. They've been playing together for yonks, absolute donkey's years, and you know, when your opponents beat you when you're so close to them, there's nothing you really can do but shake their hand and say good game.
Yeah.
Fantastic series between the two of them, and I really do think it was close in the scoreline belied, but again, it was a fantastic series from Will, Zorrow, and NKZ. My personal MVP has to be NKZ. The miracles he was putting off on that Diva, especially on Hollywood, absolutely blew my mind, but Supershy Blue all showed up to play today, and that is why they're through to that grand finals. That's why they had their date with Destiny with the esports organization.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be a crazy grand finals, I have to say here. I can't believe Supershy Blue clutch it out in the last minute there. And again, the name we've said all series long, it's Zorrow that was really the spearhead, the driver for that final clutch, finding 2 kills, 1 with the overclock, 1 just neutral. Without an ult advantage, by the way. They built that up from 50-60% early in the fight. Crazy stuff from Zorrow, but big props to Wex. I think Wex really took it to Zorrow in that last map as well.
Yeah, I mean, some fantastic moments from that 4-piece from the overclock stands out. You know, in my mind, really did have a strong series, and you know, opening picks coming through galore. We were seeing the value, we really were, but unfortunately, it came down to the wire. Came down to a balancing act on Route 66, and that one just happened to fall the way of Supershy Blue.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of Supershy Blue, we do have an interview cooking up on the stage right now with them. So take it away, Greyheart.
What a series to start things off on Easter Sunday morning. Glorious here, Insomnia 72. First of all, a massive commiserations. Let's hear it for the team denied by just 2 meters. It was Supershy Red. But there could be only one victor, only one team progressing to face EO in our grand final here on this very stage in just a couple of hours' time. At the end of the day, it was Supershy Blue. I am joined by a representative from Will. Great game. Must be feeling good after that one.
Yeah, it feels great, especially to beat Prash. Yeah, he beat us at a different LAN.
Got a little bit of revenge there. I mean, this is a team, these are your comrades, you know them well. Must feel bad to have to knock them out, but on the plus side, you do now get to progress to that final. Any thoughts going into that matchup against EO? They did beat you earlier on in this tournament.
Yeah, I'm gonna mock Sauna. He's a player.
That's it, you're just taking them down.
Yeah, I'm just taking him down.
Fighting talk coming out already. Are you and the team really feeling confident coming into that one, given you have had to come through the losers bracket?
Yeah, we're feeling really confident, especially with these nice PCs on stage, and these nice headphones. We're feeling really confident and it's nice setups. Yeah, which we didn't have a very good setups on the LAN event, so